Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today these are the 6 toggle clasp bracelets that I will be making. Most of the components came from GGC's most recent treasure bag, Midnight Blue. So if you are interested in the treasure bag, I will have all the information in the description box below. Now, she does not have a monthly subscription, but she does have a notification list. So that is what I will have linked below, and you definitely want to get on that notification list because her treasure bags sell out very, very quickly once they are released. I want to say this one sold out in under 2 days, so you definitely want to be notified so you do not miss it. So if you would like to see how these bracelets came about, then stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. I'm gonna start off with the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of cutters, and 1 set of crimping pliers. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set, and I mention my tools all the time. I absolutely love this tool set. As the name suggests, they are very, very comfortable to use. They are very high quality, very well made. And one big thing for me is the adult size grips. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of times in the stores, the tools for jewelry making are just a little bit smaller. And when I found these, I just can't imagine using anything else. I will have this tool set linked down below, along with everything else in the video that I used that did not come from the bead box. I am also using 49 strand bead along wire in this color Bright, and that color is this silver color. And I usually get it in the 100 feet just because I go through it so quickly, 31 meters. I will also link below the opening video that I did for GGC's treasure bag, and it will have a very detailed explanation of all the beads that I will be using in this video. For example, the focal beads in this particular bracelet are going to be these barrel beads. From my own stash, I'm going to be using these 3mm spacer beads, along with all of the findings, and I will have wire guardians, jump rings, crimp tubes, crimp covers, and the toggle clasp for this bracelet did come in the treasure bag. So I already have a piece of wire cut, and it is right at 12 inches long, 30 centimeters. So here is how I start each strand. I'm going to put on a crimp tube, jump ring, and wire guardian. I'm going to put it through one side and wrap it around and put it through the other. And you want to make sure that jump ring is up inside that wire guardian, and then I'm going to pinch it closed with my fingers. And then I want both ends of that wire to go through that crimp tube. And I don't need the tail to be quite that long, so I'm going to pull on the longer side. And now I know the parts are small, but we need to separate this wire just like that. You want to make sure it is not crossed under that crimp tube. I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot, and then give it a good smash, and that gives it that taco shape. Turn it on its side, go into that first divot, give it another smash, and that gets it pretty good, but you want to go in with that flat part on the end of the crimping pliers and give it another smash. And that gets it nice and snug. So I'm going to hold it with that jump ring, go in with that crimp cover, and place it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, just like that, and then flip it up. And then I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash, and then go front to back on that crimp cover and give it that round shape. And that is how we start each strand. So now it is just the order of the beads. So I have a simple back and forth between this black bead and the 3mm spacer. So I'm going to pull it down, and that was funny. The tail just slid right into the beads. Normally I have to kind of, stick it in there, but so here we go. Make sure that tail is tucked in, and then I'm going to add 2 more of this pattern. All right, so here is the first part of the pattern. And what I really love about those crimp covers is they just kind of blend in as if it's that first bead. So now the center component. All right, so here we go. So you have the barrel bead and then the 4mm small, almost splatter paint bead. So now we're going to add this pattern right here 2 more times. All right, so here is that center component. So now we're gonna add this back and forth that we did on the beginning. We're gonna add that to this side and then we will meet back up. All right, so here is the full strand. So now we're going to close it off. So I'm gonna add a crimp tube, jump ring, and wire guardian. So I'm gonna put it through one side, wrap it around, and put it through the other. So you wanna make sure that jump ring is up in that wire guardian, and then I'm gonna pinch it close with my fingers. So I'm gonna have both ends of that wire through the crimp tube. And now I'm gonna put that tail through the first couple of beads. So once you have it through the first few, you can just pull it snug. Here is where you wanna have that balance. When you have that pulled kind of snug, you wanna make sure the strand has flexibility. So you wanna move it, you wanna make sure that it's not too stiff. So you have to have that balance between having it snug, but still able to move. So I'm gonna go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot. Give it a good smash. You have that taco shape. Turn it on its side, go into that first divot. Give it another smash. And then of course you gotta go in with that flat part on the end to give it that final smash. And that gives it nice and snug. I'm gonna hold it by that jump ring, go in with that crimp cover. I'm gonna put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube. All right, flip it up, go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. And now I'm going to go front to back and give it that round shape. So just like that, and once again, it gives that illusion of a continuation of beads. So now I'm gonna hold that tail, go in with my cutters, get as close as I can, and then I'm gonna go in and tuck that little bit into that next bead. Just like that. So here's the strand, and now we're gonna add the clasp. So I'm gonna take the jump ring on one end, open it, add one end of the clasp, close it, and then on the other side, open the jump ring, add the other end of the clasp, and close it. So here is the completed bracelet. So here you go, you can see it just like that. So here is how I usually make the lengths of my bracelet. So the length of this one is right at 7.5 inches. And you'll see, because when you close the toggle clasp, obviously they go inside one another, so it overlaps. So I usually strive for my final length of a bracelet to be 7.5 inches around. So for a toggle clasp, that's usually gonna have another 1/2 inch-ish. But if you look just at the beads, if you take out all the extras, when I am designing my bracelets, I usually design for my bracelets the beads in the bracelets before I make anything and put anything together, for the beads to be 6.5 inches. Because usually when I get my beads to be right at 6.5 inches, then the clasp will get it to 7.5. Usually the clasp and the findings and everything at the end will give it that extra inch. And of course, toggle clasps will make it the final thing a little bit longer when you lay it out this way, because again, when you put it together, it overlaps. So all of the bracelets that I'm about to show you are the same length. So I have made several bracelets out of this treasure bag. The style is very different as far as the pattern of the beads, but the technique for the open and close is the exact same for every strand. So I will show you each bracelet that I made, and of course, if you would like to make it, you can go back to the process in which I made this one, and it's the same. So here is bracelet number 1. And bracelet number 2. And you can see this one is a simple back and forth all the way across. It started off the same way, and then I go right from the turquoise bead to the 3mm spacer and then the 6mm bicone. And that's the simple pattern all the way across. And then it is closed off the same way. So here is bracelet number 2. So again, bracelet number 3, same style, same technique, opening and closing. And for this, I use these beautiful twist beads in the center from the box. I just marvel at these beads. They are so beautiful. And then I use my own 5mm spacer, in the gunmetal color, and that was the in-between for these. And of course the rondelles came in the box, so I have the 3 grouped together, and then the twist beads in the center, and then the same pattern on this side, closed off the same way. Here is bracelet number 3. So bracelet number 4, and of course, started and stopped the same way. And for these, I went back to those 3mm spacers and the different size rondelles. I love these blue ones. These are so beautiful. And then these awesome rondelles that came in there. I use these as the centerpiece of this one. And of course my 4-leaf bead caps on these as well. I love that veining on those beads. Just stands out to me. And of course the same thing with the pattern on this side. So this is bracelet number 4. And bracelet number 5, same technique to start it off and to end it. This pattern is also a simple back and forth all the way across. And these have those rondelles that are the black and blue alternating. And then I have these gunmetal cube spacer beads. And simple pattern all the way across. So bracelet number 5. Here is the last one that I made, bracelet number 6. And I love these flat, almost disc beads. And I think they came together for a beautiful center component of this bracelet. I love these. I love how the facet just picks up the light. That's beautiful to me. Simple pattern in the beginning with the 2 black beads and the spacer finished off the same way. Here is the final bracelet that I made from the treasure bag. So now I'm going to set these up on my display so we can see them a little better. Here they are, all laid out. I just absolutely love the beads in this treasure bag. They are so, so beautiful. I think these different shades of blue just go so well with this dark gunmetal color, and I just think these turned out awesome. So we can go through them. I love those disc beads and certainly those twist beads. And I love that turquoise with those veins in there. And then the larger bicones, very simple back and forth. And of course the one I made in the video, those large barrel beads. So once again, I don't know if it's possible for me to recommend Miss Gina's treasure bag enough. I definitely highly recommend this treasure bag. And she does not offer a monthly subscription. If you are interested in receiving it for any given month that she releases one, then you have to make sure you catch it in time. So you want to sign up to be notified. I will have that information in the description box below where you can sign up to be put on her notification list. As soon as she releases her next treasure bag, she will put out the notification emails, and that way you will not miss it. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.